Welcome. We're going to show you today the very important offsets. Offset is what determines where the machine starts from. The homing is where it homes via the micro switches. The offset is where it actually physically starts the job from. We need to set this up, so we're going to run through on how you do that. What we need to do, we put a bit of style into the machine, into the jig. We can see that the drill is over here. We need to bring the drill down so that the smaller part of the drill, which is a 3.4mm bit at the bottom, is just below the surface of the style. So we can just bring that down bit by bit, and we do it in micro steps. You've noticed that we've set it to a 1mm increment, and we're now going to take it down. We'll keep bringing it down until we get, and we can do it by eyeball until it's roughly in the right position. We're just going to keep nudging it down and keep nudging it down and keep nudging it down, and that's about it there. We're going to bring the drill forwards so it locates in this area. Do it the other way around so you can see. Locates in this area here. So if we can bring it forwards, again we'll just go 1mm increments so we don't get carried away. That's good. Now we're going to move the drill across this way so it starts to get close to the edge, this edge here. And we gently nudge it across bit by bit until about there, which is probably one more on a 1mm and maybe another one on a 1mm, and we stop it there. We can see an air gap, it's not touching. Now we take it down to 0.1 increments, and whilst turning we'll just nudge it across bit by bit until we can hear it just touching. Whoop, there it is there. Hear that just touching? That is our offset for the x-axis. If we look on the screen, you can see that the x is set at 14.671. The drill tip is 3.4, so half of that is 1.7. So if we take our 14.671 and if we add 1.7 to it, it gives us a figure of 16.371. We enter that into here, 16.371. That is now our X offset set correctly. Next one we do will be the Y, and for the Y we'll lift the drill up by 10 so it clears it out the way. Then we'll move it back in increments of 1mm on the Y axis until we're clear of the profile. That's about it there. Again, just do this by eyeball. We'll move the X so it's roughly in the middle of the profile. So we'll shift that across by 10. Be a plus on the axis. And another one. And then we can take it down by the 10 on the Z. And we can now see that the small bit is below the profile. So now it's just a case of nudging the Y axis across until it just starts rubbing against the edge here, the same as we done on this side. So we'll move it in 1mm increments on Y plus, just to get it closer to it. And that's about close enough there. And now we'll go to 0.1 increments, again while turning, until you just hear that little touch. I don't know if you can hear that there. I can hear it just touching, and I can feel it just touching. That is now the Y axis, and if we look at the machine, it is at 5.164, and again on that we need to add on to it the 1.7, which is half of the 3.4mm diameter of the drill tip. So I just put that into my calculator. 5.164 plus 1.7, and that gives us 6.864. So our Y offset we then enter in at 6.864. So that's the Y and the X now done. The last one to do is the Z. For the Z, we'll take it back up by 10mm on the Z axis, so it clears the surface. And we'll just move it along the Y axis by 10mm. And then we start to drop the Z down, and we'll do it by 1mm increments until we get somewhere close by eyesight. So we'll start going down, down and down and down. We're getting close now, and we'll now change it to 0.1 increments and just lower it down until it just makes contact, turn it by hand, and we'll just keep on going down and down and down and down and down, and we're almost there, and I can just see it making contact now. So that is now our Z offset. If we go to the machine, we can see that the Z is at minus 22.2. We don't need to add the 1.7 because we're just concerned with the actual depth of it. So we'll go for minus 22.2. Now once they're all in there, you click on update general offsets, and that is now being set successfully. To confirm that we're somewhere or bang on where we should be, we will home the machine. You'll see the Z go up and the X go back to its start and the Y to the start. And as we can see, we're away from the style. If we click on the go to 0xy, we should see that we are bang in the corner of the profile. We can just do it by eyeball. We know it's correct because it's just been set correctly, but it's just nice to have a confirmation by eyeball. You can bring the Z down by 10 just to get it closer to it, so you can see if it's where it should be. And we can do another 10 on that, and we'll just take it up by 1, another 1, another 1, and if we eyeball it, we can look at it and we can say, yep, that looks right. If it doesn't look right and it's stupidly off, just repeat the process and you should be fine. So we'll go back to home again. Always go home. It's just like a safety thing. And that is how you do the process of calibrating the offsets.